Donald Trump has launched a direct attack on NPR and PBS by cutting off their funding, accusing them of spreading a woke agenda. But this fight isn't about politics. It's about freedom of the press, the First Amendment, and silencing voices that challenge him. NPR and 3 Colorado public radio stations have filed a lawsuit demanding justice, claiming their rights are being trampled by Trump's retaliatory executive order issued on May 1st. That order halted all federal funding to the Corporation for Public Broadcasting, an entity created by Congress in 1967 to protect independent media from political influence. Public broadcasting isn't some bloated government program. It's how over 43 million Americans get reliable, in-depth, nonpartisan news and educational content. While NPR receives only about 2% of its total budget from federal funds, those funds maintain essential infrastructure like transmitters and radio towers that keep stations on air nationwide. The lawsuit, filed in D.C., uses powerful legal language and history to make its case. It even quotes Supreme Court Justice Antonin Scalia. Sometimes the wolf comes as a wolf. This case, they argue, is a textbook example of viewpoint retaliation, where the government punishes speech it disagrees with in violation of the First Amendment. Trump's executive order claimed public funding is outdated and corrupts journalistic independence. But what it really does is threaten the very independence public media was created to protect. This isn't just about NPR or PBS. It's about whether future administrations can punish media that hold them accountable. The 45-page legal filing calls for declaratory and injunctive relief, asking the court to block Trump's order and protect the funding already appropriated by Congress. Legal experts expect this case to fast-track through the courts and potentially land before the Supreme Court. This battle goes far beyond politics. It's about whether a president can silence independent voices just because they don't echo his narrative. And for millions who rely on NPR and PBS, it's about whether the truth has a future on the airwaves. The wolf didn't come in disguise this time. It came straight for the jugular of free, public journalism. In conclusion, the legal battle between NPR, PBS, and the Trump administration is about much more than politics. It's a defining moment for freedom of the press, government overreach, and the survival of independent public media. By attempting to cut off congressionally approved funding through an executive order, Donald Trump has reignited a constitutional crisis. His justification, that these outlets have a woke agenda, isn't just an opinion. It's an open attempt to punish media organizations for reporting that doesn't align with his views. This strikes at the very heart of the First Amendment, which protects free expression from government retaliation. The lawsuit filed by NPR and several public radio stations isn't just a defense of financial support. It's a powerful stand against political bullying. It asserts the rights of journalists, broadcasters, and the millions of Americans who depend on public media for accurate, unbiased information. When a president attempts to silence independent voices by choking off resources, it sets a dangerous precedent, one where truth is vulnerable and power can rewrite the rules. By invoking legal precedents, from Justice Scalia's warning about wolves to historical Supreme Court rulings, the plaintiffs are clearly framing this case as a major constitutional test. The court's decision won't just impact NPR or PBS. It will echo across every newsroom in America. Will the judicial system protect institutions built to serve the public, or allow political agendas to erode their foundation? Public broadcasting has served Americans for decades, educating, informing, and elevating voices from every corner of society. Cutting off its lifeline over political disagreement threatens the democratic values the nation was built upon. This isn't just a fight about radio waves. It's a battle for truth, independence, and the right to speak freely without fear of government retribution. The outcome will shape not only the media landscape, but the very future of democratic discourse in America.